Welcome, everybody. My name is Jordan.
And I'm Ethan, reporting in.
We are the Hebrew Rebels, and this is Rebels React to Terminator Dark Fate.
Is that what it was called?
Directed by Tim Miller.
I was really curious who directed this movie.
Director of Deadpool, right?
No. Really?
Yeah.
Is that a giveaway?
Well, let me just ask you a question. Is this the worst movie you and I have ever seen together?
No, I don't think so.
I would probably argue that.
I have to think about it, though. I'm only saying that no because I have to think about it.
Okay, let me ask you this. Would you rather watch this or Spectre again?
This. Yeah.
I disagree.
I would... Okay, I don't remember Spectre, so again, I can't, but all I remember is...
And therefore, I would rather fill myself in.
Here's my reason, though, is that I love James Bond.
Yeah,
I don't love Terminator.
I don't either.
So it hurts less.
Yeah, but right off the bat, full spoilers. We're not going to hold back. We don't care. So if you haven't seen this,
there's a lot to jump around with.
Yeah.
So you were saying that you weren't sure how old she was. So
in the trailer, she looks very young.
Wasn't. And now that I'm thinking about what else happened in the movie before this point, so I didn't realize exactly how old she was until she took the beer.
Right.
And I was like, oh, should she be having that?
I thought the same thing.
Definitely.
But also, she works in like a full-on factory.
So she was definitely not a child.
No.
But no, that's what I'm like, wait, and that already happened, and I'm still unsure.
Right. This is Danny that we're talking about. I'll pull up people's names, but yeah, this is Danny, played by Natalia Reyes. Doesn't say her age on IMDb, so I'm not exactly sure how old she actually is, but
What's her name?
Probably Natalia Reyes.
Never heard of her.
She was probably 20s, right? Or are we thinking like 18?
Oh, no, yeah, she's probably like 22.
Yeah.
Nope. 32.
She's 32.
That's her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's 32.
She's very small.
Okay.
She's insanely tiny.
Oh my god.
Okay, when was the first moment you realized you weren't into this movie?
So and this was really interesting because I was going back and forth. I was like, wait, and then based on what I'd heard and whatnot, like I was already
I hadn't heard great things.
Yep, so I was prepared, but I was like, oh, this is cool, and that was kind of, and then eventually, and I was also like contemplating all of this whilst watching it. Eventually, the bad overtook the little bit of good. And it was just a river and tsunami and tidal wave of bad headed full speed for the end.
I'm impressed you found a river of good.
I never mentioned a river of good.
A stream.
So imagine like a blank, dry area of land.
Yeah.
And there's
like a desert.
No. Yeah. I mean, it could be a desert, but it doesn't have to be. There could be trees around.
Okay.
And in that is like, I don't know. There's some cool stuff in there, like a robot you can control and some other stuff. And then all of a sudden, a flash flood happens and it's all gone.
Yeah. So from the very beginning, when John Connor dies.
Well, yeah, there was. I mean, so I was. I was.
What was the point of the other movies?
So.
How many have you seen, first of all? How many Terminator movies have you seen?
Oh, no, I've seen one, but I don't remember it as much. I've seen two. That's the one that I remember more. I've seen. I always get confused on the story. I've seen Terminator Salvation.
Okay. Which
was the next one? The Christian Bale one. Yeah. But I haven't seen Terminator 3.
Okay. Oh, you're right. Yeah, not the next one.
This movie was supposed to replace Terminator 3.
Right. This is the sequel to Terminator 2.
Yep. Replacing stuff, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
This movie, from what I interpreted, was like tying up a lot of loose ends. Or not like loose ends.
Did they do that by just destroying and incinerating everything. Is that how they tied up the loose ends?
Yep.
Okay.
Actually.
So
100%.
laziness
is because it wasn't executed well, it comes off as laziness.
There was an extreme lack of creativity, I felt like, in this movie. Just smash something into the ground, run. Punch it into the wall, run. Crash it into a helicopter, run. Just, it was exhausting.
So the action bits was what I was trying to like be like, well, this is cool at least.
I felt
everything holding up the action, or that's supposed to be like for, was utter. I don't want to be too vulgar, but I also really do, but I won't be. It was just it was garbage. Like it was so.
Okay, there was a scene where new bad Terminator guy.
Yeah.
Mr.
And he was cool as a bad guy.
Indestructible.
Objectively. Like, that's the point. You're supposed to be... It's exhausting. You nailed it with exhausting.
Because literally...
It was too much.
The only thing that kills him is some, like, weird spark plug that's been in her chest this entire time. That's it. Nothing else would kill him.
No. Remember, Sarah Connor called in her card, and they got a special weapon.
Well, okay.
But
same thing.
It got one bullet to... right through that.
And did it like not go off when it got shot? Like it just...
Well, no, I'm sure it has to get activated, but...
Okay, so this guy, right? He is in a bunker spying on them trying to escape Mexico with a drone, right? This is how he finds them.
He's in a data center.
No.
No.
He's in a border patrol
place, yeah.
thing. And he has a drone and he can see them. The drone can see them, right?
Yeah.
What he does is he calls the border patrol to be waiting at the border for them when they get there, and then he crashes the drone into them. Why didn't he just crash the drone into them immediately?
Because they hid behind the rocks. He wouldn't have been able to hit them, remember?
But then they ran.
But he wasn't ready.
Then they said, we need to move quickly, and continued to rock out of the rocks.
I was surprised they didn't kill the uncle. I all of a sudden was like, oh, they're going to kill the uncle too? They're just gonna kill him.
When the poor nephew got
oh my god, no,
over.
The brother? Can we just go back to the beginning of the movie, the brother? So this movie, man, this movie was all about, the technique they used throughout this movie was, here's this beautiful thing, and we're gonna murder it now. I have my son murdered in cold blood, shotgun to the chest twice! Like,
and he just walks away. They're on like a beautiful like Tahitian beach, and he just gets absolutely annihilated.
That was my first bad sign, because I was engaged in that beginning. Scene.
That's what I'm saying.
I was engaged.
Right from then, I'm like, oh no.
We both, I think, looked at each other like, I'm not gonna lie, I considered. Through my head, I was like, should we get up and leave?
Oh, no, I wanted to many times during this movie. I only wanted to keep with it for this.
Okay, that's the only reason I did too.
There's only been a handful of movies in my life where I'm just like, I don't care to see how this ends.
Yeah.
This was near the top.
What was the other one you mentioned? Spectre?
Spectre, but I don't know. Like you said, it's James Bond. It's still like, he's cool, and... there's not so much chaos and destruction going on. There's just not much going on in that movie. The other one was, damn it, I forget what it was called. I think it was John Travolta.
That one hurts because I love James Bond, so it falling really hurts.
Right.
Yeah.
It was Liam Neeson. It was called Cold Pursuit. It's a guy who's like a snowplow driver up in Minnesota or something, and his son gets killed by some drug cartel or something, and he just goes on a rampage killing everyone, and then the Indians get involved, and then there's like this war between the drug cartel and the Indians, and he's in the middle of it, and he's killing everyone, even though he's just a snow patrolman. Like, it was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, and I almost walked out. One day I'll finally walk out of a movie, but not today.
Side note that I just randomly thought of, but did you notice that was 20th Century Fox? Mm-hmm. Which means it's Disney. Mm-hmm. Which means we're going to get to watch this again.
I was going to say when I saw that, I'm like, oh, Disney Plus.
Yeah. Oh, immediately. That's what I thought.
One day.
Regardless.
This, honestly, should have been one of those movies that Disney scrapped once they acquired it. Because they did that with some movies.
Ooh, yeah, wow, this really puts into perspective what they were doing at Fox.
Even though it already was money spent, like, they might as well recoup some of it, I guess.
Yeah, that's why you put it out. Okay, so, man, I know this is all over the place. I don't really know where to begin, because I'm trying to recount the whole movie, and... So, okay,
wait, no, you were about to talk about the brother.
Yes, so... This movie opens up.
Danny's brother.
Yeah, we get the naked girl. She enters. That was a cool scene. I was cool with that. I was like,
yeah,
her character. I was interested in from the start. I knew what the other guy was. You knew he was the Terminator from the trailers. I wasn't sure what she was, and I actually enjoyed some of that throughout the movie. It got to a point where I didn't like it, but
the only things I needed answered in the movie were, what is she, why is she like half human, half Terminator, and what's the deal with the girl?
Yep.
That was it.
So the girl had a brother, and this movie was very bizarre to me. It was I thought it was okay, so I don't know. I feel weird about bringing this stuff up, but it's like, I thought it was very interesting. It was like in Mexico with a Mexican girl, and it's like, look how nice everything is, and look, we work in a nice little factory, and blah, blah, blah. There was a lot of that
crazy, like cool factory.
I liked that. And that's why, like, I think it's just normal, and that's cool. Like, I like seeing that, but I don't know. It's something that was just everything was so. I think what this was what the movie was doing about, here's this nice thing, making it everything as nice as possible,
so that it can be destroyed.
So that it can absolutely be destroyed. Oh yeah, yes. So
that you feel sympathetic.
The father, you need to go to your doctor appointment today, and I think is what she said, or you need to go to the doctor. You should go to the doctor, and he's like, no, I'm gonna stay home, and you died because of that. So, and then it was like, damn, if only he'd gone to the doctor.
What was the point of that?
What?
Were they just showing how like strong she is because she takes care of the family, even though they're both fully capable people? Her brother had a nice job, and her dad was capable of like getting the eggs. Because the fact that like she was taking care of everybody, I thought he was like not maybe like completely able-bodied.
I didn't even think of it as her taking care of everybody. She seemed like
she was in charge though. Like she was running the show.
She was definitely in charge, but. So the brother, man, oh man, I was like, damn, this guy, he's got beautiful with the abs and everything.
Awesome. He's gonna be better than Bruno Mars one day.
I was like, wow, this guy's really got dreams. I was rooting for him. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, but you're working. Then they go to work.
It's gonna suck that you're gonna get separated from your sister, but I hope that music career, makes it.
You'll be able to do something with this, and you're at the factory, and oh no, he lost his job. That. Essentially, it didn't get to that point, but I was like, oh, okay, this is dark.
But the music will pull through. Like, that'll get you through your life.
I was like, no, this is just what he needs. This is what he needs to push that. He's good. He doesn't need that job. But she's like, whatever about that. And
then he gets wrapped up in...
Yeah, no. You're 100% right.
Mackenzie Davis's character, her name is Grace. She's the half Terminator, half human, and she just comes out of nowhere with a full freaking shotgun under her trench coat.
That's right.
That you can see sticking out.
She left the tip out for us to see, so that we knew she had a gun.
Why was that necessary?
So that we knew she had a gun.
You know when we would find out? When she starts shooting the thing. Why did we need to know?
Yeah, be like, well, why does she have that trench coat? So much better. Yeah, would have been so much better.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. She literally was only wearing it on half of her body. Clearly hiding something.
They don't look down.
Why is she even hiding anything? She's a Terminator of sorts. Like, she doesn't need to hide anything. She killed people.
Well,
she didn't care.
She didn't kill people.
Yes, she did.
Where? She never killed anybody.
Didn't she kill the cops in the beginning? Nope. She just...
stunned them.
Incapacitated them?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
She didn't kill them.
All I'm saying is she could have handled herself. She didn't need to be like hiding this.
It was because there was a big factory, and that would have. She was trying to sneak in. Yeah, she was trying to sneak in. I was okay with that. It was the fact that it wasn't
just sticking out.
Yeah, because what did she get? She got the security guard. Yeah, she went and busted the security guard's face.
Yes.
Took his outfit and then rolled in.
I'm trying to get Diego. Diego is the brother's name. So Diego and Danny get caught up in this fight between Grace, the half Terminator, and
the Terminator
guy,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just causing chaos everywhere. Hooks to the face, hammers to the face, wrenches to the face, entire like blocks of metal being smashed on your body, and you just melt out of it.
I didn't mind the action sequences.
Those were kind of cool. The hand-to-hand combat was cool.
I was still, because at this point I was still into it, but I was suspicious.
But then they escape in a car, and then Terminator guy finds a bulldozer somewhere and manages to chase them.
So I think I reacted and you saw me. I loved this.
You did.
I
hated it.
No. But I remember thinking that you were interpreting me, but also it wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
For this moment, just as like a big kid, I'm like, he's just got a big bulldozer. His cars are just flying off.
It's very Fast and Furious.
Right. I loved it.
For the bad guy to be in an even bigger vehicle crashing through the wall. It's like, okay.
I was like, sure, let's do this. Yeah, of course he found a bulldozer and joined this. No, I think it was when he went to the other side, and then it was just cars everywhere, and it was just boom, boom, boom. I was just like, this is kind of great. I don't know what to say about this.
Just everything was crashing and exploding, and many people were dying, and
I just love the cars flying. I imagine if I crashed into a bulldozer, I would just crash into it, and my front end would be smashed. That I wouldn't go flying off it.
No, I think those scoop things really do send you like that. Yeah, Mythbusters did something like that where they like made a giant wedge like that, and the cars just took off.
Oh, okay, I'm interested. I mean, GTA taught me that, but
right. I think that's accurate.
I'm so interested in that, but that sequence was hilarious.
Anyways.
But it wasn't what I think they were trying to achieve.
Which is?
A more intense action sequence.
Well, what ended up happening is poor Diego takes a bolt to the chest. Yeah.
So it went through the car and stopped the truck, and I was like, oh, okay. The truck's done. He'll stay with the truck, and they'll take off.
Yeah. Oh, and it's a shame that he had to drive because Danny didn't know how to.
So that's right away when I was like, oh, he's here to drive because she's 12 and doesn't know how to drive, and still not realizing she was just at work.
Why didn't she know how to drive?
I don't know.
Didn't she call him little brother too? She called him little brother.
Yeah.
He's younger than her.
Because she's tiny. She's too small to drive. Which is how I felt when she took off.
Had the booster seat in the Jeep later. Like, she was way up on that thing.
Yeah, and they killed him, and he had rebar right through his chest.
But then Grace is telling her, like, we need to go so that he doesn't...
Oh, my God.
So he, doesn't die for, like, no reason. Like, you need to
When he died, though, that hurt.
But you mean when he exploded?
Oh my God, I forgot.
No, so here's the thing. Diego did die for no reason. He shouldn't have been there.
Well, no, yeah, well, that too, and also it didn't gain them any time. Every time they ran, he caught up.
What was the point of his character?
To drive. No, that's what
she could have driven.
No, but she couldn't.
No, but she could have. They could have just written it that she drove. Why did we need this brother that had to die?
Okay, so that right there is my biggest flaw with this movie, is that it's all manufactured from the very beginning of, oh, my son, dead, oh, we care about you, you have an investment.
Right.
And then it was, I have big dreams, and I'm gonna be a star. Oh, my brother, he's died, now I'm affected. Like, that's what that was.
Sick dad,
and
no.
And all of that. So it was, just her dad being dead. It's all like, he's such a nice guy. They call her Danny. I'm protecting.
He knew what her friends called her.
I'm protecting her. You're not gonna get her. and then you thought he just closed the door and went off because clearly he wasn't gonna let him in. But no. He's dead.
He melted him and then took his skin.
Oh God, yeah, that's what happened. And
every time
describe it was painful.
I think she just said that you don't survive that or something.
Yeah.
Every time Terminator guy would come in a new face and they like reveal, surprise, it's me. I'm like, yeah, dude, I know. You're not fooling anybody. You're the man flipping trucks over with your hands. We know who you are. Why are you even disguising yourself? You don't need a disguise. You're indestructible.
Yeah, I don't know why he doesn't just kill everybody.
Dude, there were so many ways that he could have killed them. Just with planes, helicopters. Like, why did he always walk up to them and then fist fight them? Just always have an endless barrage of rockets and guns, and just, you don't care what happens to anybody or anything, or yourself probably. Just get the job done.
So what you're setting up right now is what all I've been thinking about this entire movie. Because I've watched a few of the other ones too. Namely Salvation, and I enjoyed that one.
I feel like I would
watch that one with Christian Bale. It's fun. You know why? Because it just takes place in the future with them trying to survive. And so it's not worried about all this other and this movie made me realize that the entire Terminator premise is stupid. The entire, and I'm like, you have to just take these as action movies. But
the first two were more than that, though. Like,
because they didn't get into it as much, they were just good they're good action movies.
Yeah.
And I gotta watch them again, but that's why, like,
I remember thinking Terminator 2 was great. But I remember being equally exhausted with Terminator 1 because the Terminator just couldn't be beaten. Every single time I thought that they beat him, here he comes again. Like 18,000 times in that movie. I remember being just as exhausted in the first one. The second one was better because it's like Arnold being the good guy and like protecting them. It was kind of more fun. So,
and I think that was lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
A product of the time. I think that might be peak Terminator.
So like Toy Story 4, right?
Yeah.
They made that because they had a perfect next story.
Yep.
This was far from that.
Yeah.
They did not need to and shouldn't have made this movie.
Yeah.
I said earlier, like, what was the point? Like, if John Connor died, everything was for nothing. That's not true, because she still saved everybody. What was the point of the first two movies if the same thing is just going to happen again in the future?
So here we go. So herein lies my biggest issue with this entire universe now is how they handle time travel and the entire concept of it. It all falls apart. Everything falls apart. Because at what point did you realize that she was the one? Like,
I don't know. I never had any, besides the one time when Sarah Connor was like pissed that her son was gonna like save the universe. That was the only time I ever even thought about a future son of hers. I only was thinking about her. I didn't think like she's the badass, but do you know what I'm saying?
I pretty quickly realized with this it was all about this frail girl that they were just I was like, oh, she's the one.
I should have realized from me thinking she was a child and a tiny person the entire time that she would be the hero.
They really were like
hammering that home.
So in that whole speech about like, I'm just a woman and they wanted my child and you're the same thing, and then it's like, no, I'm not. I'm the one to save the day. We're gonna end all those gender stereotypes, all of it. It's me today now.
Except for when they find out who she is, and Sarah's like, "You're John." It's like, no, I'm Danny.
That's so great.
How dare you call me John? John didn't do anything. Like,
so, and here's my other issue, which makes it all fall apart. Even the John thing. So, in the future, things had already gone to at this point.
In this movie's future?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? In this future that they were trying to stop her.
Yeah.
So, her, in that time, was a product of what happened.
Yes. Yes. It's still gonna happen.
Didn't happen.
It's going to.
Then why don't they stop that?
You mean why doesn't like Grace stop that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of just protecting the person that's gonna save a percentage of the people left after the robots take over. And no, go stop the cause of the robots taking over.
She became like, it wasn't this guy going back in time to kill her that made her who she was, which is what this movie did. It was the apocalypse that made her who she was. This changes it all. Why is her special? Is there something in her DNA?
Well, I mean, she was pretty ready to fight. Like, once she found out there was a killer robot from the future out to get her, she's like, oh, well, let's go get this thing then.
And I think about it with John, too. Why was he the one? Because in this one future, he did this. So, the reason that this doesn't make sense is because if they went back and saved her, then
the future changes.
Yeah. So
like maybe she's
now she never
more enabled, more of a badass, puts herself in a different situation and dies.
I mean, the issue is that like this time travel doesn't work.
So this is
because there's multiple realities, there's infinite realities.
What happens now? It's still just is it just gonna keep happening over and over and over again, or
it's fundamentally flawed, unfortunately, and that's why you kind of have to just take it as like a fun movie. But it's like, yeah, she beat it, and then something else just got created. But is that the same timeline? Is that a different timeline? Like, what's going on?
Are we supposed to assume that Grace, in the future, when she's like being attacked by these scavengers and gets saved by Danny, is that because Danny knew of Grace and was watching over her?
No. Like, also, she went in and saved her like some little badass. Like, I am 100% confident you're not going to shoot me, even though I have thousands of people right outside. They're all out there right now.
You could have just brought like 10 more.
You think you're all alone in here? There's thousands of people out there all hiding. They're all just like, no, we're over here.
How do the robots who have like heat sensing technology not see them out there, by the way?
Because that's only when we get to see them go through a door.
Dude, this movie is so bad.
Arnold.
The only good thing about this movie, I hope you agree, not great. Kind of, it's super.
Arnold,
super cheesy.
Okay,
super cheesy.
Let me clarify.
Yes,
Arnold, his performance, everything after he leaves his family, was great.
Yes.
And even when he was there petting the dog, I was like, oh, I totally believable as the robot. Like 100% convinced.
Oh yeah.
At no point was I like, he's just old Arnold Schwarzenegger just standing around this movie. Like really believable, and that was cool.
So I agree with you. Arnold, awesome. Carl.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah. That one, dude.
I'm sorry, James Cameron. You wrote that?
He did.
Did he? Did he write this movie?
I don't know.
I mean, they're plastering his name on this movie as like, this is the third James Cameron movie, even though he didn't direct it. But like, he had stuff to do with this movie. He signed off on this movie.
So I get. So see how this movie, it tied up so much stuff. It put Sarah Connor into context. It kind of like ended that, because I feel like it's always been complicated. Like, it's always just been about, but now it's just about Danny and this separate apocalypse. Like, we're just shifting. What is happening? And now Arnold's gone. And also, if they just sent 2 back, they'd win.
Yeah.
And also, a lot less people would have died if they just killed Danny immediately. Like a lot less people would have died.
Let him kill Danny.
Yeah.
And then, without anyone hunting you, go stop the apocalypse from happening.
Done.
1 person's dead.
Yep. That's it.
Because we've seen from your own stupid movie that once they finish their task, they just walk away and go live a normal life.
Yep. They're fine.
They don't care about anything else. They're not going to kill anyone ever again.
As more and more people were dying and the body count was going up in this, I was like, I really wish they just killed her at the beginning of this movie. And like, not against her. Like, I'm sorry for you.
No, yeah, that would suck.
I'm sorry that this future self of yours in some other universe became some rebellion leader, and now you with your brother and your dad, and you work at and you now have to die because of this. Like,
that would have been a more hard-hitting movie for Grace to realize that at the beginning, like, wait a second, hold on.
And also, like, you spend this entire movie of her, like, getting to know you and caring about you, and then you're like, kill me. Murder me right here and rip my chest out. Oh my goodness!
man.
That was horrible. I'm literally like, oh my god, she's like, I love you, I just became your friend, oh my god. Like, that's how I was thinking.
I have to rip your electric heart out.
And then immediately almost get killed.
Yeah. Oh my god, why did she bother with the gun? Like, girl, I'm sorry, I know you're a badass, but this thing is going to destroy you. Don't mess around with it.
And really, was Grace really, like, confident that she'd be able to go take out a Terminator with that? Like,
I mean, that was their only option.
I guess.
Except maybe for Grace to just do it, or no, she would have powered down. But
yeah.
Were we supposed to feel something for Carl doing what he did?
Every time. Everything in this movie was designed to make you feel something, but you never felt anything, because everything that was designed to make you felt was started in this movie.
So
it started and ended in this movie.
When Carl sacrifices himself by dropping down to, like, make sure this thing dies, right? Terminator 2, end of the movie, Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger kills himself so that none of this could ever happen again. He destroyed himself so they can't find his technology and they won't have an apocalyptic future. That was meaningful because we cared about him through this entire movie when he's saving them, and he sacrificed himself, and then they just do the same stupid thing again because the same thing, the whole future just happened again anyways. I didn't care. I didn't care that you died again.
I didn't care at any point in this movie. And like, when he said goodbye to his family, I was like, oh, this is, like, real. And then he came over and then he's like, I told them I will never see them again. I was like, holy, how do you know that? What if you just kill him and you go back with them?
I mean, he would have, if they got the EMP would have done it, and he would have been like, oh, hey guys, sorry, I'm back. I have a lot to explain, but I'm back.
I have a son, goodbye forever. All of it, it's gone, it's done. Like, oh, that was like, build up all this emotion and then just gone. Pull the rug out.
Also, why don't these Terminators have, like, a self-destruct feature after they finish their task? Why do they just let them go wander off to live in this reality that they, like, hate? They want to destroy life as we know it, but they just let them kind of live with us.
It so doesn't make any sense. None of it, and that's what I was realizing throughout this. I was like, the entire Terminator premise doesn't make sense. You have all of these robots, send 2 back and it's over. They could all barely beat 1.
Yeah.
Just send 2 back. And it's done.
Yeah.
And it's done.
So we're rooting for the bad guys to win at this point.
Yes. Yeah. So,
because I'd rather see a movie in the apocalyptic future, which is what the
Terminator stuff, and it was really good. But it gets real. It's just, so this was trying to, like, tie up all the, like John is just dead. So they were like, that whole thing is officially done. Yeah. Like, that's what this was trying to do. Carl, gone. That's all done. Sarah Connor, she's made peace. She's done. So now, does Danny just sit around and wait for the apocalypse?
I mean, are we...
I see you, little girl. I see you. I'm gonna come get you when this all goes to... I got you. Like, is that what was happening? Let's go get you ready for this, to lead this apocalypse.
Was she just, like, her guardian angel or something? Like...
One more thing.
Yeah.
Because I just keep thinking of things.
Yeah.
What a traumatic childhood that she went through when they flash back. She literally saw a 747 fall out of the sky.
That would
right in front of her.
Me.
It just happened to fall right in front of her and land just so she, like, just perfectly so she could just watch it crash and all these people die.
Yep.
And then
that would ruin me.
And then she just happens to be the only one that survives after her father was killed over a can of peaches. I'm like, man, you guys really did not try very hard. And then she's in the hoodie in this apocalyptic place. I don't know how she survived to this point. And there's just random group of people just...
I mean, that would have been the point she died. She made it all this way, and then but she dies to this group of people.
Real quick. Mm-hmm. I really liked her in the augmented thing. And that whole sequence of her, like, fighting and surviving... And then, like, defending the colonel, and they come out and get her. Like, that was all done really well and believable, I would say.
Defending the colonel?
Or the sergeant? Or remember she was defending... she was trying to get that guy on the stretcher inside. That was her when they were in the past.
Oh yes,
or in the future.
Sorry, yes,
sorry,
yes,
I know.
I forgot about that.
Like, and then that's how where she's like, make me an augment, and like that whole. I love that whole.
That
thing.
was pretty cool.
I'd love to see future stuff with those people.
That helicopter thing that they were in.
Which one?
With like the legs that like moved and like transposed, and it looked like it could walk.
Yes,
that was awesome.
Yeah, all that stuff is really cool.
That was so sick.
Even just the Terminators walking up the beach
with like tentacles and stuff.
That was so
Those
cool.
were awesome.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. I don't really care about the one Terminator. That should have been one movie. Not every Terminator movie is the one Terminator coming for the girl.
Why do these Terminators look exactly the same too? It's a different company, like a whole different robot apocalypse, but they look exactly the same.
That's what I didn't understand either.
I mean, a little bit more advanced technology, it seems. Like they've learned how to make them even more impossible to beat, but they looked identical with the metal skeleton skull face and the red eyes. Make them different.
Yeah, I don't understand that whole one future got eliminated and now another future is happening. Yeah. So it's pointless.
Here's what movie I do want to see, though.
Yes.
I want to see Carl. After he kills John, I just want to see what he does when he's walking away. From then until, like, basically from then until he makes his drapery company. That's what I want to see.
Start the movie the entire same way to that point.
Him brutally murdering a child, and then just a peaceful...
And even opening with her. Not him getting there.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him get there. Start with her, and you're just like, isn't this Terminator Dark Fate?
But then we follow him away. We're like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then he's just the nicest guy. Learns how to kind of, care for people.
He immediately was just like, I'm sorry. Like, I killed him. I'm okay with it. But I guess maybe I shouldn't have done that. I don't know.
Like, okay, what do I want to do for the rest of my life?
Why does he have honestly, when I saw the trailer and I was like, good, he's been hiding in the woods for all these years. Helping her.
Yes.
No, he sells drapes.
He lives there. Yeah. With his wife and
solid
son.
Colors isn't good for a girl's room.
That was really hilarious.
Awesome.
Though.
I loved it.
The lines of Arnold were really funny.
He did a really good job.
He did.
Yeah, I agree.
I would strongly advise you not see this movie. I don't want to encourage this movie. I don't want more of these to be made. I almost feel I'm upset that we supported this movie, because remakes like this shouldn't happen. It's a shame, I think, that this got made, because it delegitimizes the first two, which are arguably very good and classic and iconic.
Has anybody said anything good about this?
I haven't listened to anybody talk about it because I hadn't seen it yet. I haven't heard a single good thing. I heard it's the third best Cameron Terminator movie.
Okay, I'm wondering
which
if
means nothing.
Yeah, I'm wondering if people will just write this one off too.
Thank you for watching Rebels React to Terminator Dark Fate
and review. Yeah,
our review is don't see this movie.
See this movie.
But if you want to hear about us, if you want to hear us talk about movies more, we have a podcast called the Hebrew Rebels Podcast. You can check that out on this here channel or on podcast streaming services. But until then, my name is Jordan.
And my name is Ethan. We are the Hebrew Rebels.
Till next time.
Hi. Is that okay?